Hello everyone and welcome back. This time I will be reviewing One Piece chapter 1144, A Time for Warriors. And we continue on with another cover image. We're going back to I'm getting it all wrong. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest. And it appears to be the conclusion because Who's Who is defeated, all the minions are defeated, and Yamato has freed the stolen ladies and the carpenter. Everyone's happy. Hooray! So jumping into the first page, we start off in something brand new where Frankie has a shocked expression on his face, and it's something Ripley has shown him. What is it, we ask? It's a weird, sciencey lab sort of thing in the great tree of Elbaf. And as Frankie points out, it just seems completely out of place in the land of warriors that is Elbaf. And next page, surprise, surprise, Lilith and Bonnie are there. Always find it interesting that Bonnie's kind of been keeping her child form. I guess that's her natural form, considering she's, 12? But she's been keeping that form for a while now. And apparently they're there because they got lost. So even though they parted ways, they're back in the story now. And we get a bit of a lore drop about this sciencey building where Lilith, being the smart cookie she is, estimates it to be about 3 millennia or 3,000 years old, which is insane. Frankie barely believes it, but Ripley seems to confirm it by the fact that there's no historical records of this building in Elbaf. I guess that confirms its age. It's ancient. Void Sentry building, maybe? Could be crazy stuff in there. So next page, they start discussing the scientific benefits of this building, and looks like Lilith is going to hunker down there now instead of her original location. But as you can see here, Bonnie has seen something and she is freaking out. And as we see in the next big panel here, there's a lightning monster. And I love this little thing here where it says, "What I'm afraid of, lightning." And this is a common theme. They're going to do this for loads of monsters throughout this chapter. I think it's a nice touch. It's really great. So that's one of the nightmares the children had. This one had a nightmare about lightning. And you've got a big mum sort of lightning cloud creation. But it must be massive when you look at the scale, especially compared to a giant like Ripley. And we see in the bottom panels where Frankie seems to suggest it might be a natural occurrence of Elbaf, but Ripley shoots it down, saying this is not something natural to Elbaf. The next page, we see a continuation of that nice touch I talked about before, where we change scenes to the Western Village, and it's, this time it's What I'm Afraid of, Draugr, and just this massive Draugr attacking the village. And we see in the next page that they seem to be cottoning on that it does seem to be manifestations of, they've realised it's manifestations of the children's nightmares. And apparently the captains are nowhere to be seen because they've drank too much and they've got to go to the bathroom. And I love these last two panels as well. You get a couple of the running jokes of the Straw Hats where Brooke makes a skeleton joke, that looks awfully familiar. Is it an enormous me? It's just missing the yo-ho-ho, And then you've got Usopp saying, "Oh, we want to stay and fight," but he's saying it very quietly. So he's trying to be brave, but being very quiet about it as well. And apparently Colin is being Mr. Brave Kid as well. So next page, Colin gets very quickly rejected for his help because he's just a child, even though he's like, "I'm the son of Gaban," and it's like, "No, you're not Gaban." So they're telling him no. And I thought this middle set of panels was a bit confusing to me at first. I was like, Nami wants to tell Jarul something. I'm like, what do you know that you need to tell Jarul? But then we find out in the bottom set of panels that they're just revealing the revelation that a couple of intruders attacked guards at the castle, and they had weird powers, which Jinbei's showing his experience, intelligence, that he correctly points out that if there's weird phenomena, the best explanation is usually devil fruits, which we already know to be the case because we've already had their powers revealed. So next page, the alert for the intruders is sent out, and now it's Brooke's turn to be smart and say that there could be more than just the two of them. So the alert is changed to at least 2 people. So that sets it right because obviously we know there's not 2 there anymore. There is 3, and technically one of the original 2 has buggered off. Shamrock. So good move by Brooke. So we might be getting a clash soon with these guys. But middle panel, another ongoing theme, and I love consistency. It's a great thing about Nami's character. She really likes children. So she's furious that children are being abducted. It seems like she's going to be very prominent in this part of the arc, I reckon, because she wants to protect children. She wants children to be safe. That's her part of her character. And we'll see at the bottom. It's also they try and get the Straw Hats to back down, but they really want to help, especially Jinbei anyway. Jinbei and Nami. I guess Usopp will help too. Trying to get them to back down because they're guests, but Straw Hats doing nothing. That's not going to happen. And also a bit of revelation that the captains who are in the bathroom right now are actually Dory and Brogy. So, they're the lightweights, apparently. So next page, they're a bit optimistic because their targets are human-sized in a land of giants, so they should be easier to spot because they'll be the exception amongst a land of giants. But they have a problem. That covering the land of Elbaf will be very difficult because it's very vast. And just as they ponder that, Colin shows up with a ship. Good old Colin. And he's like, yeah, you guys will come with me? I'll be the captain. And love it. It's Nami's turn to be cute in this last panel. Is like, she just finds Colin adorable. Again, she likes kids. And in the bottom panel, we just get a nice big shot of them heading off with Colin at the helm, and Usopp complaining that Colin should be the one rowing because he's the biggest. Classic One Piece. So next page, we're going back and seeing what the Holy Knights are up to. And first off, we get, I think it's just her listening to music, but it seems really cute. Like, I keep saying everything Gunko does is cute, don't I? But she's just listening to music. And the alert, also getting a bit of speech about the alerts of these humans. I don't know if they're reaching them or it's just kind of overlaying with, the targets, I suppose. But the middle panel, they just start talking about music and they call it, it's just a weird musical chat. They suggest it's a ritual of Gunko's. She just says it's not, she likes doing it, and you've got Summers here saying he prefers listening to live musical performances. Just basic stuff, nothing too interesting. But then either Summers or Killingham asks her what song she's listening to, what the song she likes so much, and it's called New World. I don't know if that's going to be relevant at some point, but when I first saw New World, I thought it was an Anuta song. I kind of went on the wrong path here, but then I looked it up, and I think the song I was getting confused with was New Genesis. So there's a lot of emphasis. It's it's in bold, it's in quotations. There's a lot of emphasis on the song title, so I don't know if that's going to come up later, but I guess it's worth remembering this song, New World. Maybe it will be important. So next page, we're going to see what Saul, Robin, and Chopper are going to do to try and stop the children from walking straight into the fire. And Saul's got this great idea of using double shields to stop the head of the pack, which is Ilva, since obviously we've seen he can't just grab them. So he preps himself, as you see, in the path of this cloth and arrow and whatever. But unfortunately, as we see in the bottom panels, it successfully stops Ilva, but then Scaldi walks into her, and the thorns around both of them cause them both harm. So, unfortunately, Saul has to move. So next page just kind of confirms what I've just said there, where they're just, if you go from the front, they'll just walk into each other, and Robin is horrified at this revelation. It's interesting. She says this is awful. It's sadistic. So she's not going to be happy with the Holy Knights either. And we see in the middle, Robin thinks the best course of action is to search for the devil fruit user and stop them rather than trying to stop the children. But unfortunately, as Sal points out, if they don't stop the children, they're just going to walk straight into the fire. And we see that he starts, like, he's got a rope, he's doing a lasso. And you see his new plan is to, rather than go from the front, he's going to go from the back, which makes sense. And he successfully starts pulling, who we got here? Bjorn from the back. Bjorn from the back. And it seems to be successfully working, but Sal has noticed something. What could it be? And next page we see what it is. It's unfortunately another one of those nightmares. This time it's Fenrir. And so his efforts to free the children might be in jeopardy, because it doesn't look very happy, and it's looking directly at Sal. So we kind of get a small transition to the Walrus School, where they're basically confirming that there's these monstrosities all over Elbath, and they need to identify the culprits. But in the bottom panel, we see that the Western Village seems to have successfully taken down the Draugr. So they're making some progress, at least. I can't wait to find out that it can just get up and regenerate or something. Next page, I don't know if this is still the Western Village or somewhere else, but someone is being attacked by Nidhogger, the giant serpent snake. But also, as we see in the middle panel, Ghost is attacking as well. And they're in trouble. They can't protect the village. It might be the Western Village if they're saying they can't protect the village. And they need to retreat. But that just then, we get Dory and Brogy stepping up. And if you remember from one of the latest shots from the anime, we know what attack these two are lining up. And of course, as we get to the final page, they unleash a Hakoku Sovreignty. Sovereignty, sorry, pronounce that word horribly. And it just completely demolishes all the monsters in the way, as we see the Nidhogger's down, the Ghost is down. So they will deal with the monsters while everyone else saves the children. And we've got the great ship Eric back, and they say Svar edition, so it's been converted into a Svar. I don't know what the big deal with that is, but it's loaded with giants. And Mr. Yar, aka Gaban, is there too. And the chapter ends as everyone is jumping into action. All in all, very exciting chapter. Action is just increasing momentously. It's interesting. We didn't see what's happening with Luffy, Loki, Zoro, etc. They were completely absent this chapter. We saw everything else that's going on. So obviously Loki's kind of out of commission at the moment, but he was meant to make a big revelation about Harold as well. So I'm surprised that they left it out. It'll probably be in the next chapter, and thankfully we're not on a break week, so next Sunday, another chapter of One Piece, and maybe we'll find out more about that. But very exciting chapter, a lot of action, and I'm just really hyped for the next one. I hope you guys are too. But as always, thanks for watching. Bye for now.